What's going on, Cancer? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and are you ready to swim in those mystical waters of Pisces? Because that's what the moon's swimming. This is a great time, I feel like, especially if you can find some quiet time to just get in touch with yourself, go within, see what emotions and things are moving through you, what's coming up during this time. I feel you can get a lot of insight when we get into the moon in Pisces. We'll get into that more in a moment. But if you're new here, again, my name is Justin, and welcome, and know that when you're coming across this video, you're in sync with the moon, and she loves that. But this is also a place for those of you who have Cancer in your placement. Sun, moon, rising, Jupiter, wherever. This one's for you. Or if you just want to sync up with the moon, we support that here too. And I do tarot card spreads. Base of our ruler here, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going, boy, of course, it's all them lunar shenanigans. And just so you're aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what fits into your story, discard the rest, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Because this is a really great day. Well, this is a day to really get things into business. Because depending on when you're watching this, I'm going to shuffle your cards while we're talking about this. Happy Saturn Day. It's that time of the week. Saturn is associated with Saturdays, oddly enough. And this is a time, I feel, for really kind of setting some limitations. This is, normally Saturdays are just like, woo, it's Saturday, it's time to party. Well, this is a time, if you've been partying a little too much, this would be a great time for you to just set aside some, thanks, Spirit. Set aside some time to see where some things that how I like to work with Saturn days. It's just like, all right, where have I been slacking off? Where could I be? Is there certain things around the house that I've been putting off? Are there any sort of documents that I need to be put together? There's actually a couple things I'm thinking about right now. It's fine. Even during like Saturn hours, even that could be a time where it's just like, I could have had a whole day planned out, and if it gets to a Saturn hour and I still haven't done half the things, it's just been kind of scrolling on my phone. It's just like, all right, let's go ahead and go get groceries, or go, just kind of set those kind of, be responsible, get disciplined, and not necessarily keep yourself in a box, but just trying to get everything knocked out so that you don't have to worry about those things later, or just keep putting them off and putting them off. That's how I like to work with Saturn days and hours. But also, too, I like to invite this as a time to see what is your relationship with Saturn. And that's very important, too, considering if you have a night chart versus a day chart. Because in a day chart, Saturn's going to work more constructively with you, where in a night chart, Saturn may push you a little bit harder. So that could be something, too, to understand where's not just in that relationship, but what house is he located in, what sign is he located in, what aspects is he receiving. So those can be some things to pay attention to when we're working with this kind of Saturn energy here. But let's get into the lunar shenanigans. Because on the 9th of November, the moon is going to be entering into Pisces at about 8 p.m., and that's going to be Pacific time. And she's in a waxing gibbous phase. And so what I like about the moon in Pisces, because the moon is domicile in Cancer, another fellow water sign. And I find where, unlike in Scorpio, where she finds her fall, Pisces, this one that's ruled by Big Papa, Jupiter, I feel like the moon and Jupiter have a really nice relationship. But Pisces is the mutable water sign. That means that mutability allows them that change. There's a constant flow that's going on with Pisces. They're getting a lot of downloads. But also, too, Pisces being, like I said, a water sign. And so there is this emotional side, this empathetic side, compassion, psychic nature that comes with Pisces. And the moon does very well in that. And then the modality is feminine, so there's a receptivity that comes with that as well. So this is a great time, I feel, to just, again, pay attention to what emotions are flowing through you. Have there been some that are coming up stronger than another? This can be a great time to just, it's not a time to like fight the flow or for like to swim upstream, but to just, I imagine the moon just sitting on like going on a lazy river, just kind of sitting in her boat and just going where the tide pulls her, not necessarily needing it to justify it with logic, but just to see where it's like, maybe you feel like going for a walk by the river. Don't question it. Maybe just like the sun's inviting you outside, or maybe you just feel compelled to do these, and just pay attention to whatever intuitive insights are coming up for you that time. And maybe that can help you move through some emotions that have been kind of stuck. Because that's what I like about Pisces energy, where this is, I feel like it's not really a time to grab onto any one particular emotion. It's an interesting energy with Pisces. It's just a time to just allow things to just come up as they will, let it flow through you, and then just let it flow on. You know, just let it come as it makes sense. Maybe some anger comes up, maybe some joy comes up, maybe some frustration, you know, whatever that looks like. And just during that time, like, okay, why am I feeling this thing? And then maybe need a good cry during the moon in Pisces. I feel like that could be a great time for that too, whatever that's looking like. But with her being in like the waxing gibbous phase as well, this is a time for like organization, for integration, for planning. Because now we've taken action during that first quarter, hopefully. And now we're just kind of analyzing how has this been working for you? How have you been integrating this thing? And how can you further perfect this thing that you're setting off? Maybe you're starting off a new workout routine, maybe you started a new house project, maybe you're getting your finances in order, maybe we're getting in touch with some, maybe we're reconnecting with some old friends or some family members or something like that. Whatever this intention was, now we're just trying to analyze, like, how has this been working for me? How has this been growing? Is this doing what I expected it to do? And if not, how do we need to adjust and pivot from that? So those would be just some things I would say to think about while we're in this energy here. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over. And last little bit, if you want to work with these energies more personally, down in the description box below, I have a list of all the services that I provide. I got to get my one for the moon group, and I'm editing some things. That's what I've been, like I said, I need to make better use of the Saturn days. But yes, but for the most part, all the services that I provide are down in the description box below, so if you feel moved to check that out, avail yourself of those things. But the last little bit here, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And before we jump into this thing, I'm going to bring some good vibes, maybe might evoke some emotions here, kind of cleanse the energy. So adjust your volume if you need to, but let's give this a ring and let's get into it. All right. Let's get into your general energy of the day, which I love this. So you have the last quarter moon in Taurus, which is a card to be proud of yourself. And you know what? I feel like just outside of this lunar cycle, take a minute and just kind of look back at how you've grown. This is a time to, even if you feel like you've been in maybe a bit of a rut here lately, how think about how you may have handled this in the past as opposed to how you're handling it now. And I feel like even if you're just like, you feel like maybe things are being handled similarly, I would at least argue to say that, you know what, the fact that you're even considering this or even kind of in that state of reflection is already a sign of how much you've already moved from that. But whether you've been conscious of it or not, there have been these changes that are going on, and they're worthy of being proud of yourself. And even if you have these times where maybe a situation didn't work out how you planned, maybe there was a conversation that was had that you wish wouldn't have gone this way, or whatever this would be, I would say that this isn't a time to be in a place where you beat yourself up or be in this place of regrets or things like that. Instead of thinking about how you could have been in the past, let it become where you can think about being in the future. Just even thinking about the last quarter moon, that's a phase of letting things go. And that's where the moon's exalted at in Taurus. She's celebrating in Taurus, and most celebrated in Taurus after her sign of Cancer. And so I really think this is a time to show yourself some grace, and you know, I would even go as far as to say, one thing I kind of think about sometimes is when, you know, let's say if you had like an argument with someone, for example, and I feel like this is like an invitation to even send out some good vibrations towards, maybe if you feel like someone's wronged you. It's not to say what they did was right, but this could be where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna release you by sending you some healing. I'm proud for the growth that you've hopefully had. since our conversation, that no one has to go through what you've gone through if that's the case. Wishing them higher vibrations, and even in that, and maybe it's not even being proud of them for that, for their hopeful, growth that we may never know, but at least maybe putting them in that light, imagining what they could be in their highest vibration, not thinking about what you've missed out on per se, but even just like being proud of yourself for, giving yourself that closure, even is something that's kind of coming through here. Very Queen of Cups of you. But let's get some, oh, interesting. Let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so you have the Three of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Eight of Swords here. And that Six of Cups, that can be a card of a past card here, or of being maybe stuck in the past, or even being in this kind of reminiscent type of energy, this nostalgic type of feelings. And with the Eight of Swords being here, I do think that this is an invitation to free yourself up, especially if you've been holding on to something. Let's say it's like emotionally, it's like if I get like with this Eight of Swords, it's like when you get stuck in the past and you're recreating conversations, thinking about how maybe, oh, they will never say this or they won't do that. That just keeps you in a bind and keeps you where the growth is hindered in a state, because now we're distracted from the present. And I feel like the Six of Cups can be, there's usually these two people that are exchanging gifts or something along those lines. And I'm even getting this thing of, if you find yourself just like recreating a fight scene or something like that, imagine what that would look like, what the apology would look like. Not just coming from them, but even if coming from you, as far as like maybe not apologizing, but even accepting that. Imagine with this Three of Pentacles, working differently with this. Working with like, okay, this is how them and myself would be in this higher vibration. And then in that, I feel you start to attract more people, newer friendships and things. You start showing up more differently in your current relationships and doing those things that you may have wanted in the past, and inviting those people who may have wanted you in the past. I'm even getting like an invitation of looking at your current relationships. Are you noticing any sort of repeating themes that have come up from the past that are still keeping you bound, because maybe there's some things that we've yet to close out? But again, that doesn't mean that we're beating ourselves up. Be proud that you recognize this and that you can adjust this here. But let me get a little bit more on the Six of Cups here. Get a little bit more details with this. Because this is that Sun and Scorpio energy. Spirit. Interesting. All right, so okay, so I was getting, okay, hold on. So the Six of Cups is clarified by the Two of Cups, and they came up in reverse here. And so this could be where, it's a situation, there was a breakup that may have happened. It doesn't have to just be romantic. This could be in a friend, this could be a family, this could be a business, whatever this could be. But something here, I'm even getting like a pet energy here. That might be maybe if you had a breakup, maybe like a pet had to go with someone even. But there's something here like where it's just like a holding on here. Like, it's just like having troubles letting that go, in a sense. And I feel like there's just an invitation here for reconciliation in this. And maybe this might be something where you need to write a letter to this person, and maybe just set it on fire. Forget a safe space, of course, but keep some water nearby. But set the note on fire, for sending this note of forgiveness or sending this frustration or whatever that is. Allow yourself to feel this. Go through those emotions with Pisces, and then do the things to help you, a ritual to help you release that. Maybe we need to cut a cord or something like that, or we're doing maybe some candle work, even something along those lines here. But I do think with this Two of Cups clarifying the Six of Cups, that if we don't reconcile this energy, it's just going to keep you stuck in a capsule here, and then the growth we don't proceed any further here with this Three of Pentacles. And I'm even getting this Three of Pentacles here of running with the new crowd even. That might even be something here where you find yourself hanging around the same old thing, expecting a different type of result, or expecting them to rise above, whereas this is where you need to rise above. It's not it's not up to them, it's up to you. You are responsible for your journey. It's another message that I'm getting here. But let's get some more on this. Okay, so you have the Two of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Wands here. Oh, and the Fool. Look at that Fool sneaking in there. Air energy coming through here. But before we get to that Seven of Wands, I feel like this is a need to protect your energy at this time. And I mean always. But there's an option here with this Two of Swords. We could stay in the Eight of Swords, Six of Cups, or this Fool can take a new leap here. Can start a new journey, try something different, be on a path of healing in a sense. And no, because when I think about the Fool card being that representing that air energy, the air in the major arcana cards would be the Lover's card, which is Gemini energy, the Justice, which is Libra, and then the Star card. Oh, and we got balloons, we're celebrating, and the Star card, which is healing. And I really think with this Fool, it's going through that process, is knowing, you know what, I'm picking a different choice here. I'm wishing something different with this Nine of Cups. And knowing that if you were even wronged in some sort of instance, know that you rising above, even if the person doesn't do any sort of growth, we're all going through a journey, and nothing is just always sunrise or, just sunshine. There are times where we all go through 12th house things, through 6th house things, through 8th house things. And we never wish this stuff on people, I feel, with this Nine of Cups here. Because what we put out there is what we get, what comes back to us. But if we send that love and light, even if the person is however they are on their journey, I'm just thinking with that Justice card in that air trilogy, that justice, balance is always restored. In that the universe, and that you don't need to worry about them receiving their justice or hoping that they get this or hoping that this happens to them, because then it's just you're attracting these we get into a strange vibration when we start getting into that. And so, and that's why the Seven of Wands is coming in. You want to protect your energy. And this is Mars in Leo. And Mars just entered into Leo not too long ago. And Mars in Leo, I have that natally. Mars and Leo, where it can be very active and can be very kind of, I heard someone in astrology call it the solar warrior energy, which I really enjoyed that. But the caveat with that is I have Mars in the day chart, and sometimes that Mars energy can be very combative, and it can hold on to a lot of things, and especially in a fixed sign, Mars will just hyper focus on something, and it will seek justice. It can get, again, very strange and very destructive. And so that's why I feel the Seven of Wands here is just be mindful of what you're inviting into yourself. Work on this sense of forgiveness if that's something that you feel is coming up for you, if that's resonating here. But this Fool here is an opportunity for a new start, for a fresh start. And this Two of Swords here, we just got to make the decision. Let's get some advice from Big Papa. All right, I'm with it. Thanks, Spirit. So last little bit here. Got the mighty King of Wands here. And let's go ahead and switch over. Oh, maybe let's switch over. Because this King of Wands energy, the King of Wands has a lot of heat. but he uses his energy responsibly. The Kings for me represents the state of wisdom. I'm even looking at, he's got this little, I don't know if you can see that here, but he's got this little red dot kind of in the where his third eye would be. And I feel like that's because he's learned where to channel his energy to. He's seeing beyond like appearances is what I'm even getting. He's he's sending this energy into his growth. And when you focus on that, then you can just focus on how proud you've become because you've learned to protect your energy. You've learned more energetic responsibility. And I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight. This comes with that Three of Pentacles, with practice. But with practice makes perfect. And the King of Wands, I feel, I'm just looking at his face here, and it just seems like like this enlightenment or this understanding that he's had. It's come with some stories, is what I'm even getting. Like the King of Wands is not the one, but he's not always looking to be that one. He knows that he could absolutely go down to that level and play around in those low vibration if he needs to be, and can conquer in that. But I get this energy of like, what would be the point of that? You know, what would be, that's just a waste of just this potent energy that he has. And you know what, I'm not saying we're just blocking this anger, but we're just learning to understand it and move through it and to channel it into something more constructively. Where it's like, if you feel yourself wanting to be the one where it's like, you know what, I'm going to take a moment, I'm going to go for a walk. Or I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to go punch my punching bag, or go pour this energy into my bed. I've had a moment where I was feeling some type of way, and I just went upstairs real quick, and I was just like, and just punched into the bed real quick, and it's just like, okay, now that I've exhausted that, what do I really want to do? Because now there's no more energy behind it. And that's maybe something too. You may need to like empty the tank first and then kind of come at and then fill it back up with this just compassion, where you can still have that level, that sternness. It doesn't have to be just hot. It can be constructive heat. And again, I feel like this, at the end of it, you'll be more proud of yourself than if you had just gone there and just been that one. So, all right, I think that's all I got for you there. So if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this if you know somebody who's been feeling a lot of heat, ready for some new beginnings. And then subscribe there, you King of Wands. Hit that bell button to get notified of these videos each day. And then last little bit, if you want to know what's going on in the Celestial News weekly, come down in the description box below. There's a link for my other channel, Alchemist 8, where I do videos there weekly. And I also do videos talking about different planets and different houses and different places. They're all playlists for you. There's not a rhyme or reason. I'm still kind of, the body's healing great, but I'm still kind of easing back into this thing. There's been a lot going on in my schedule, so I'm just getting my energy in order. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card or cards here, so I can get you out of here. Spirit. Look at that. You got the Rainbow Waterfall card here, which is Card of Miracles. And I think, what a miracle that you didn't get into that fight. And that you weren't the one, that you rose above, and it opened up different channels for you. You know, in this butterfly here, this is metamorphosis that you've gone through. I feel like this is you becoming more radiant. Because if you know, again, I'm saying with that King of Wands, it just, when you just spend this time being just angry, and maybe even bitter, that stores in the body. The body holds on to that stuff. And I feel like it blocks the miracles from coming through. It stops that water from flowing, you know? And I think that it's this feels like an invitation for you to welcome in. There's a few butterflies on here. And to, I'm even getting the state of like creating a space for you to allow miracles to happen, like a sacred place or a safe place. Maybe this is in a park somewhere, so you can just kind of reflect on some things. And And I feel like it's like even reflecting too on the miracles that have happened in your life as well, the times where you have grown. And because even if you've been feeling like things haven't been going your way, or you've been feeling like something's been stuck, that hasn't always been like that. That there have been miracles that have happened for you, and if they've happened once, they can happen again and again, and they will happen again and again and again. I wake up every day. One of my favorite ones to start. So really the only one. The first thing that I say every day. You think saying it every day? I have it now. It's like now being on the spot. It goes. Let me pause it real quick. Let me find that real fast. Okay, got it. I didn't have to go anywhere. I had to pause it for a minute. Thy will be done this day. Today's the day of completion. I give thanks for this perfect day. Miracle shall follow miracle, and wonder shall never cease. That's the first thing that I say when I wake up. And just like, and however that looks, a miracle could just be just looking at how the sun's shining in the windows, looking at all the colors of blue sky here today in Washington. So that's a miracle in itself. But even just like, yeah, just looking at the trees, looking at how the food that I have, just all of these things, that the body is healing the way that it is, that I'm doing these videos and all these things. So just some things to reflect on. But until next time, keep raising that consciousness and keep eyes on that moon. And I will catch you on the next one. Wait, when am I going to catch you? Moon Day.